Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your True Prince the Freaks, and today we're going to be starting a brand new series. Yes, I'm starting things a little brand new, using a little bit different format, and modded up my game, make it look a bit prettier for you guys, and I can't wait to get started. Today we're going to be hitting a few interesting places to get decent loot early on in the game. In this first part, we're not going to find anything too interesting. We're going to find some magazines, a good place to scavenge for ammo and components, and some place to rack up some experience. The first place we're going to hit is just around the corner, so let's get to it. Alright, you're going to, instead of making a right onto Sanctuary right out of the vault, you're going to make a left onto this dirt path. It looks a bit different because of my modded game. Tell me what you guys think. I might delete it for a more vanilla look. I recognize that it is not lore friendly, so let me know what you think. If you turn left up here, you'll most likely get attacked by mole rats. Mole rat meat is a good supplement for stimpacks early game when you're low on stimpacks and they're not so common. Up here, we're going to be following these electrical towers. I think they're electrical towers anyway. They might be phone towers. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. And we're going to be looting this tent. Now, this area that we're about to go is a random encounters hotspot. If you watch Oxhorn's video, you know about these random encounter hotspots. I got lucky and fighting Duke, the power armored greaser guy, and he took out most of the enemies around here for me before I got the chance to, which I'm pretty thankful for, because these raiders on the difficult I'm playing get a little difficult. It takes me a few tries, especially one of them likes to spam Molotov cocktails, I think it's pronounced, and it's just a hassle. Yeah, this is Duke. He's part of the Atom Cats. If you've played the game, you know what he's about. He doesn't have much to say. I guess if you really want to have a full conversation with this guy, you have to go over to the Atom Cat's garage. If you want me to do a video on that, leave a comment below. I'm still looking for video ideas. This is a brand new channel, and I'm hoping to make it grow. Around this campsite, there are a couple cooked pieces of meat, and all the raiders have a good amount of ammo and armor on them. You want to look for leather pieces early on, simply because there's really no reason to loot raider pieces. Just down the hill, you're going to go on to the next location. Now, this part's a little optional. There's not really anything too great over here. It's just a little interesting. I like to come over here. You find some radiated barrels in this little army truck and a military helmet, which is a good piece of early game armor. There is this blood hatchling if you want to take it out for some extra XP. Usually they don't have any loot on them. I know there is bloatfly meat, but it rarely spawns to me. Right up the hill, right across from the river, from where we just were, we're going to be going on to our next cabin. This cabin doesn't really have anything in it except for one thing, or two things actually. If you're interested in lore and you like hearing stories, there is a holotape here of the dead deceased girl that's pre-war. Other than that, not much. There's a magazine here, which is important because magazines are rare and, you know, a collector's item in the wasteland, and a handful of bloatflies are good for early game XP. And here it is, the Wasteland Survival Guide, Self-Defense Secrets. This is a pretty good magazine to get early on. Not only is it a collector's item, but each magazine will give you some type of benefit. And next up, we're going to hit a trailer right up the road. Okay, before we head off to Abernethy Farm, we're going to be looting a few containers in this little trailer just outside. There's just some ammo components and healing items, a couple aid pieces, and it's just a couple interesting things. Little detours like this become common in this series. Here we're going to be just doing a couple things. We're going to be getting a handful of caps that are good to get early on in the game by just talking to Lucy. She has a small little quest for us. All we really need to do is pick the melons around her. This is something that was common in games like Skyrim, and I think this is the only place you can do it in the Commonwealth or in Fallout 4. I don't talk to a lot of other farmers that do this for you. But yeah, after you're done picking the melons, you just talk to Lucy again, and she'll pay you for them.
Yeah, here you go.
Great. Thanks for your...
See? 27 caps, and it only took like, what, 5 seconds? Pretty good to me. Next up, we're just going to be talking to Mr. Abernathy. He has a small quest for us to go get a locket, and we're going to be hitting that location anyway, so might as well. Turning in this quest after we're done doing that will get us both caps and experience points. That, and we'll align ourselves with the settlement if you're interested in building here or making this your player home.
It's okay. I'm friendly.
Now, you do have to have a small conversation with him, so I'm going to take this time to just talk about the channel. Danny Dorito, the other content maker on this channel, just got a setup, a recording setup just similar to mine, and he's going to be pumping out videos pretty soon. We're sorry for the delay in videos. I know last time I was on here, I was like, oh, we're going to make videos every week. It's going to be great. But complications happened, and it was just, I don't have any excuses for you. But we're going to go on to next. And before we head off to our next location, we're going to be heading to another detour, just a small shack with a few interesting pieces here. Well, I wouldn't say interesting, just useful. The straw pillow is good for cloth. The cigarettes are good for, they're great to sell. The cooler has a couple aid pieces in it, and if you're on survival, the empty beer bottles are good for refilling with purified water later on. Once you're done looting all that, you're going to head up to our next location. Here we're going to be looting a couple things. There's a couple crafting stations here if you have the components too. We're going to be looting some ammo, some scavenging pieces. We're going to be looting a steamer trunk, and there's even another magazine here. Now this place has a good handful of ghouls, and I realized that this game seems harder as a girl. I don't know what it is. I feel like enemies hit harder and I do less damage, which doesn't make sense. I feel like it doesn't matter your strength when you're shooting a gun, but you know, whatever. Enough about my rambling about, you know, inequality between sexes even after the wasteland. As you see, ghouls, my difficulty, I play it very hard, do a lot of damage, even the low level ones. But we looted a good amount of aid, so we should be good. I tried being a melee build for this let's play, but it didn't work out. In here there are some crafting components, some aid, and there's even a holotape if you're into the lore thing like earlier. Alright, just going right, we're going to be hitting the next loot location, and this is where we're going to find the key to where the steamer trunk is and the magazine. Coincidentally, they're both right next to each other. There's a cooler with a random assortment of aid items, a good amount of loot. Some cigars are good for if you want to sell them, and there's even a little radio right there, so you can sit down and listen to music, but we don't have time for that. We gotta go loot. More ammo boxes, again, more components. This place is good for looting components. This first part is going to be a lot of components, like cans. Cans are great for power armor. They don't weigh that much, and for early level power armor pieces, they fix them pretty quickly. I totally don't end up dying twice fighting this next ghoul, so like so. Up this staircase are just a few more components, things like a Braxo cleaner and oil. This first part is just going to be a place where you can find a lot of components and a few other interesting items. I know that might seem boring, but you really want to make sure you stack up on components early game, so that way you can upgrade your weapons. Early game fighting good weapons is just a nightmare, so you want to make sure you're able to make your own decent quality weapons. This steamer trunk didn't have much good loot in it, and again, with the sexist thing, I feel like I find better loot as a man. But, you know, whatever. Our next part is just up ahead. Here, we're just going to take a little detour to show you where we've been on the map. As you see here, we started at the vault, went down, we looted some molten rat meat and fought some raiders. We went down to the cabin and looted that military checkpoint. We looted that trailer, then went to Abernathy Farm, then went to that one place we went And now we're just following the road, as you saw me point out. We're gonna take a left and then a right at the barricade, the broken barricade. Here there are some annoying bloatflies. I can't stress how much I hate the bloatflies. As you see, I try being a melee build again, just to give that another shot, because hey, they're blowflies, but after they take a decent chunk out of my health, I get frustrated and switch back to my pistol. Which probably isn't all that great of a strategy, given that I don't have that much ammo at the moment. As you see, I only have like 43 bullets left at this point, so that wasn't very smart of me. Don't be like me, don't give into your anger. Like I'm about to right up ahead when I have to fight a handful of ghouls. At this point I'm getting pretty annoyed. I'm playing on very hard difficulty, and just to get myself a challenge for when Fallout 76 comes out, which we will be making contact on, by the way. But I was getting pretty frustrated, so I threw a Molotov cocktail. And even on very hard difficulty, I should have been able to one-shot these guys, but lo and behold, I wasn't able to do it. It was at this point where I realized my ammo was getting low. I'm going to be jumping to the inside of this cabin in just a second. There's a cellar door inside the cabin that you'll see as soon as you walk in. And here we are, the highlight of this episode. Now I know that sounds strange, but hear me out. This place is components galore, and there's even a weapons crafting station here, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important crafting stations in the game, because it really upgrades the armor, let's be honest. But there's oil here, there's adhesive here, there's screws and gears here, even concrete, which me personally I have a bit trouble finding with. There are aid items, and if you look behind here, there's a hidden adhesive and a toaster in the bathtub. Anyway, I do this strategy early game where I go and I look for the most expensive mod for my weapon, so that way I can tag it for all the important materials I need. But so far I have looted so much components that I needed to spend some, so that way I was able to tag the components I need, like you see there. And that's just a small example of the amount of loot we're going to be getting in this series. This series should last a good couple episodes if you guys are into it. I'm always looking to expand. Now, just up ahead, there is another ghoul, and I don't do well. I switched to my pipe pistol, right? Because I'm like, yeah, well, I want to save ammo on my other one. And I'm like, okay, it should be fine. I open the door. Oh, it's just a regular ghoul, right? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I have a pistol out. I'm not using melee. And then, And with the power of editing, I'm going to make you think that took only one try. Up ahead, there are some interesting loot pieces. I know I've been saying that a lot. You're going to hear the word interesting a lot. But this is the only dismantled mini nuke pieces I've found in the game, or that I can recall at this moment. There's a good amount of gas canisters around here, and our third magazine for this episode alone. We found another bottle cap mine, and just a few extra pieces of scrap. That terminal has some more lore, if you if you like that sort of thing. And up next, we're going to be looting a couple more places for this episode. Once again, I have to lie to you, we've run out of time for this episode. I want to keep them from 10 to 15 minutes so they're not too long. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for this channel, please leave a comment down below, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you, and have a glorious day.